God bless you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the iGame. I appreciate your love and support. I'm here today with my brother Chris. He came back to join us. We're going to talk about his upcoming events, his upcoming music. We're going to talk about what God's doing in his life. We're going to talk about ministry, faith, what it is being a Christian man out here in this world, the victories. We're going to talk about everything because this is my brother. He keeps me encouraged. And I'm laughing because all we do is celebrate God. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you. Happy to be back, man.
Yeah.
We were just flowing last time.
Yeah, we was talking like, my brother watched the whole episode and said it didn't even look like an interview.
Yeah, we was just talking.
It's like y'all was just kicking.
Yeah, we was just talking.
And I was like, that's how we do. Like, I still remember all the times after church when we stood in the parking lot for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, God's always doing something.
Yeah, man.
So I appreciate you, man.
I'm happy to be back. It's been a little while.
Yeah, it's all good. I know you're doing your music thing, chasing money, being creative.
I'm trying.
Yeah, because like, you know, us creatives, we don't live in boxes. So
Yeah. I feel like we don't. And I think what I'm learning now is like structure,
yeah,
you know, where last time I think we talked about just like executing and getting ideas out.
yeah,
But now it's structure for things, trying to give myself like dates and timelines and deadlines. And because if not, then it's like, man, I've been working on this project for a year, you know, and it's like you're working on it, but it's just not done. And
yeah, definitely.
consistency.
Because I have an unfinished book in my old computer. I don't know what my daughter did, but she killed it.
Oh,
So I got to go to Best Buy or someplace to reboot it and
that
get
hard
that file
drive off. That's
Yeah, but I'm not mad at her. I mean, that's what I get for procrastinating for 20 years. I'm exaggerating, but
Okay, I was about to say, you saw me look at you. I was
yeah, I'm exaggerating.
I was like, 20 years, that computer might not work, man.
Nah. It was one of those all-in-ones, touchscreen.
I got you.
So the file, everything's in it. And my daughter's doing her, because she's an artist too, creative, whatever, but the computer died. But it's my, you know, I should have had that book done probably 5 years ago.
Yeah. You can get it, though.
Yeah.
They gonna charge you.
Yeah.
They gonna charge you.
Yeah, and then it's so ill because my brother kept asking me about the memory sticks.
Yeah, the hard drives.
I had the memory stick
I just learned about that like a couple months, last year sometime. One of my instructors, he was saying like, your computer, to the best of your ability, should just be for running programs. He said, don't save anything to it. Everything, keep it off of it. Hard drive, external.
Yeah.
And it's true because I've had a couple computers die. Like 3 years ago, I had a MacBook. I had all my stuff on there, all my programs.
Gone.
Yep.
The screen turned blue?
Oh, and that's half the story. So I went to the Apple store.
Yeah.
I was in college. No, so it was more than 4 years ago. This is longer than that.
Okay.
And I went to the Apple store and I was like, yo, my computer just error message. And I've had like hard drives kind of like crap out before, but you know, they can take it off, the information off, put it on another computer or another internal drive on the whatever, or just fix it. This lady, she had no clue what she was doing. She said, oh man, I think it's a virus on it. And in my mind, I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah.
I was like, well, I need a computer. I was like, well, why? Macs don't just get viruses. Like, I knew enough. I was like, I don't think they do. So she said, yeah, we're just going to have to wipe it. And when we wipe it, then it'll start working. Well, there wasn't a virus on it. She wiped it, right?
Wow.
And the computer's still like.
And she wiped everything. Kind of like resetting the cell phone. No phone.
Well, the computer still didn't work. I can't remember what it was. Something like it had just crashed on the computer. And the computer's not going to work with that crashed.
Wow.
If you had fixed it, like it would have been fine. But she was like, no, it's something in the system.
How much they charge you for that?
Oh, she did it for free. It was like her first day there. Because another guy came over and was like, he said, what's wrong with it? And I was like, yeah, that's what she told me, and it's doing it right now. Like, I was watching it. Like, force erase.
Oh, you said it was free. Let me tell you what my Hebrew teacher used to say all the time.
Ain't nothing free in this world.
Nah, it was worse. He said, anytime you get free work and free advice, it's worth every penny. Anytime, yeah. Anytime
Like
you get free work or free advice, it's worth every penny.
I like that.
Because if you took the computer to somebody and they wanted to charge you $500, you might have got better results.
Yeah.
So,
well, I was at the Apple store though.
But it was free. And you,
She was the professional.
yeah. I know, it hurts.
I was upset. I was really upset.
Because I remember, this is a little bit off topic, but it's kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
My stereo died. You know, we still had CDs once upon a time. If you're under 21, Google CDs. But, so, I know. So I went to Target, and, you know, bottom shelf, middle shelf, top shelf. I can't remember why, but I bought the cheapest stereo. Took it home, set it up in the bedroom. That thing lasted maybe 2 weeks. CDs started skipping. Speakers started dying.
Them things will eat up CDs too. That sensor will come up and scratch it.
Yep. That's what I get behind a $30 stereo. And I want to say it was a 5-disc changer.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Wait, it was $30 and it was a 5-disc changer.
I think so. If I'm not, it was mad cheap. It could have been $59, but it was mad cheap. And it was also on the bottom shelf.
My sister had a nice one for Christmas one time.
Yeah.
It was a 5-disc changer. Like, I think that thing was like $100. But that was like the Best Buy, like nice.
Yeah.
Like that was her Christmas gift that year. So you said it was $30?
I really want to say it was 30. Because that's why I bought it.
It probably stopped opening at one point. Like the little disc changer. Did that ever malfunction?
It didn't even last long enough to do that. It just stopped. Like I said, the speaker stopped working. The CDs were scratching. And I just remember remembering what my Hebrew teacher said. You get what you pay for. I bought the cheapest one. That's why I want to say it was $29, because it was the cheapest one. And I remember that day, I was like, you know what? I ain't buying cheap stuff no more. Because now I got to buy another one. So I might as well have paid $100.
Yeah. That's how I am with guitars. I kind of tell people that. Well, there's a balance to it. Like I used to, like, upgrade every couple of years or so.
Yeah.
And I got to a point where I was just like, okay, I'm losing money because I keep selling them. I'm getting better guitars. But in the money that like I've spent on all of these, I could have just got like a really nice one.
One good one.
But then there's the balance too of when you're learning, you probably, like your first car probably doesn't need to be a Ferrari. So it's kind of the same concept of like a good entry level, but yeah.
Yeah, you don't give a Ferrari to a 16-year-old.
I don't sell gear no more because I always have seller's remorse. I'm like, that's not true unless I don't use it. I just sold something.
Yeah.
For a microphone, but
it's
collecting dust.
True. But after 45 years on this planet, ladies and gentlemen, you get what you pay for.
That's facts.
So instead of buying cheap stuff 4 or 5 times in 10 years, just get one, like you said, the guitar. Get one good guitar. Find one good shop to maintain the wires.
Yeah.
I mean, strings.
Change the strings, yeah.
I said wires, strings, I'm sorry.
I mean, they are wires. They are.
Is it?
Yeah, but wires. So you got a wire. This is really random. But it's a wire, and it's got another wire wrapped around that wire. Just a metal string.
Yeah.
And when you tighten it at a certain whatever, and you flick it, it just...
Yeah, like violin strings.
Yeah, it just vibrates in certain pitches. That's all it is.
Wires. I'm today years old. You know what they say on Instagram?
Today
years old when I found out.
I was today years old. Oh, man. I ain't gonna say it's whatever. I was today years old when it was thought you could have your cake and eat it too. That's not the saying. Is you can't have Kate and Edith too. And somehow, yes, that is the original saying. You can Google it right now.
So it's 2 different women.
Yes, because some people say, oh, you want to have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
If I can have my cake, I can eat it.
Yeah.
Why can't I eat my cake if I own it? The actual saying is you can't have Kate and Edith too. But people have, I guess.
The telephone.
That's a fact. You can Google that right now. You can Google it. I'll Google it. I'm not going to do it because we're recording.
Wow.
It's not cake and eat it. It doesn't make sense.
cake and eat it.
You
You know
can't-
what? We do be saying stuff because it's tradition,
We be saying stuff.
but we
You
don't.
know what I mean by that too.
That's, man, look, we can talk about that forever. That's like all the misquoted Bible verses. We can do a whole show on that because we just say stuff.
Yes.
But Kate
right.
and Edith.
Yeah, you can't have Kate and Edith too. And somehow it became Cake and Eat It too.
That's ill. Because if it's my cake, why can't I eat it?
Why can't I eat it?
Because it's mine.
Doesn't make sense.
It don't. It don't. You know what? We're gonna do a comedy episode of that. we're gonna print out.
Misconceptions.
Yep.
Cheap CD players.
Misquoted Bible verse.
Misquoted Bible verses. Misdiagnosed computers. It's been a good time.
And yeah, and like my Hebrew teacher said, free advice is worth every penny. Because, matter of fact, the way that topic came up, because he has a lot of mentors around the world. He studied Hebrew, Arabic, all that.
Yeah.
So he has mentors all around the world. He can call them online. He traveled a lot when he was in the military. So he was full of good information. But he used to let us know in Bible study class, he says, the advice you get comes from people of wisdom. Mm-hmm. And they're sharing their time with you. And one thing he said when he was talking about the East, when he lived in Africa and the Middle East, he said over there, the wise people don't talk to everybody because it's a waste. He said it's a different thing. In America, we're always selling information to anything and anybody. He said over there, the wise people don't do a lot of talking.
Overly accessible.
Exactly. So he talked about when you're using their time, you want to compensate them because the Bible said he's worthy of his work.
The workman's worthy of his hire.
Thank you. That's one. And there's another one where he talked about giving the gift to people out of respect.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other verse. But basically he was saying, like, like the tithe, the offering and all that, and blessing a prophet and all those scriptures. He was like, he would give them gifts for their time because that's the culture over there.
Yeah.
When the wise man gives you his evening to teach you, you always bring him a gift. And God will bless him and you. So he talked about free advice is worth every penny because if people are just giving stuff away for free, it may not have any value.
Yeah.
It might just sound good.
Yeah.
But when you're really talking to a real prophet, pastor, rabbi, whatever, they're giving you real wisdom because they're also honoring God, so they can't give you trash.
That's a weird thing. Not weird. Like, that's an interesting thing. That's what I mean. It's an interesting thing.
Yes, sir.
Because, like, I feel like growing up, I used to talk more than I listen, you know? So someone might be trying to help me, or instead of me asking questions and going like, yo, can you tell me da-da-da-da-da-da? I want to understand. I would like, it's like, this guy knows more than you. This guy has been there, and probably can help you, but you're just talking more about the problem, the circumstance, where you're at now, instead of going, this is where I'm at, can you help me? And then just listen.
Just listen, yeah.
In the YouTube age that we live in, where YouTube and Instagram, which is like a powerful thing, you get to see behind the scenes so much.
Yeah.
But I think because we think we can do things, we think we should, or just because it's accessible, that it's like, it's for me, or I understand every nuance. And there are, I'm trying to think how to say this, because sometimes I just be letting it flow and I'd be like, I shouldn't have said that. But there are certain people too that like do things and like you try to help them and they do want help and they don't want help and they get in their way. And I can see that as a person who tries to help people, but also like goes to people to help me because I don't know everything. But in maturing, I've learned to like ask my question and then listen. You know what I mean? Like, or try to listen. And if they don't have the time for the answer, that's fine. Like, I'll keep going. So now I'm seeing that at like the age of 30. It's like I'm seeing it now and I'm going like, wow, I was an idiot. Like, uncle such and such, cousin such and such, dad, mom, when they were telling me like, you should probably listen to me right now. I was like, no, I'm straight. I'm cool. Good.
Yeah.
But seeing it with like certain people that I'm trying to help. And I'm like, I don't know everything, but I know a little something. And I can try and maybe save you 3 months.
3 months of heartache and pain.
Hey, or just running around in circles, on certain things. But I just kind of connected with what you said about wisdom and just the access to it. And it's so much information. It's so much information. Like, there's this thing I'm like signed up for. I have so many resources and things to try and learn music stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I've been signed up to this piano thing. I'm not gonna say what it is because they don't get no free promotion over here on this podcast. but
I feel you.
I've been signed up to this thing for like a year and a half, and I should be the baddest piano player in the land, and I'm not. And I still haven't canceled my subscription. And I saw the email yesterday, and I was like, I should probably practice. I hope Passion don't hear that.
It's like having a gym.
I am practicing. I still invest into my craft.
So you got a gym membership you're not using.
That's exactly what it is. Now, I still do other things. Like, there's still other things that like I'm doing, and like, you know, subscription stuff, or like even school, because I still go to school.
Yeah.
As far as learning, but it's like information overload. And I had a good conversation with my buddy Jacob Macias, and we're talking about life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Jacob, good people.
he is. He's good people, you know, and he's other than, man, I'm trying to think, other than maybe one or two other people, he's like my longest running friend. Like, we went to elementary school together. So he's like the longest.
Okay.
But then like John's probably whatever. But we were talking and just saying like, bro, if you're gonna do it, man, just do it. Don't halfway do it. He's like, I know you're learning. I know you're doing this. I know you've been kind of doing it. But like, if it's for you to do it, do it. And if it's not, save yourself some time. Don't waste your time and take your money, energy, and resources and dump it into something else. But if you're gonna do that, then do it and commit to it. And that was like maybe like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And I just kind of had maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, let me emotionally go like, am I dragging my feet? Am I like procrastinating? Am I like actually busy, which I am? But am I like half stepping with some of the creative things and music things and stuff like that? And that was a big thing for me. And now I'm like, not just learning, but I need to do at the same rate that I'm learning.
True.
Because if not, I'll be 56. I'm like, I'm telling you guys, I'm still learning, man. We gonna get it. And everybody gonna be looking at me like, let it go. Let it go.
Like the 45-year-old rappers trying to get.
Hey, that's it. 45-year-old dude handing out CDs.
Yeah, it's what I noticed. Matter of fact, I just had this conversation yesterday with a friend of mine. We were talking about men maturing and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I didn't grow up till my son was born. And when I said it, I was just talking a little bit of sarcasm. Matter of fact, we was at the small group.
Oh, okay.
The poor small group. But then after I said it out loud, I was like, you know what, that's kind of true. Because I had just a little bit of motivation to move a little more direct, to be more mature, and be more responsible. So I said it kind of flippantly, but it's still probably 80% true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, and at the time when he was born, I wasn't even a Christian. I was acting stupid anyway. But it forced me to mature, grow up, be responsible, think better, plan better. So when I started making music, it motivated me more serious with the music. So sometimes God does have to put a little bit of fire behind you because you'll drag it out because you're not as desperate.
Right.
And this just reminded me, the football player Ray Lewis. His children were athletes and played football, but he said they'll never be as good as me because they weren't as poor as I was. He said I was so poor, football was my life, which made me a better football player.
Yeah.
He said my sons grew up rich, so they'll never be as good as me.
What's his name, man? It's famous like boxing announcer and he used to coach Teddy Atlas.
I remember
Teddy
that.
Atlas.
Yeah.
He was talking about boxers when they get successful and why these guys, same concept you were saying, why they struggle is, he said, it's hard to get up at 3 a.m. when you got silk sheets to go run for 5 miles. He said, but when you was hungry, you didn't have anything. You was just driven and you wanted a better life or success or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like they'll do anything.
There was no plan B.
When they get that belt, it's hard to get up in the morning.
Yeah, that's true. That's ill. Matter of fact, that was in the Apollo movies.
Yeah.
Because remember he went out to the desert to train? He had to get out of his mansion.
Half of them do that. That's the reason why.
Yeah, you gotta get back to the reality. You know what? I'm gonna change subject just a second, cause I just moved downtown, right there by Shackle Bottom.
Oh,
it's,
nice.
Yeah, so it's a different atmosphere to live in Chesterfield suburbs.
Yeah.
I know for a fact, moving downtown, I'm not in the projects. It's still a nice neighborhood, but just being in that environment,
Yeah.
I have a different intensity now because I'm dealing with more of
City folk.
The and one day I'll see the senators walking from the Capitol and then see two guys using the sidewalk as a toilet.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Yeah.
So I'm back in the, we used to call it the realness.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
back in the realness.
Yeah.
I was safe in the suburbs, which kind of made me, I could admit it, a little bit lazy. The intensity level went down a little bit because now I'm worried about what I'm going to eat and what I'm going to watch on TV. But when I'm downtown now, I don't even watch TV. I'm always thinking about my next move.
I feel like it's the next move, and there's so much life happening. Like, I don't think I'm going to, but I kind of want to, like, move closer to the city, especially if my lease go up one more time.
Yeah.
You hear that, NTS Swift Creek? You got an email coming.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they talk about, like, with music, like, you're talking about your environment shaping things.
Definitely.
They said, like, music specifically, you need inspiration or just life, because you have to have something that you're writing from. You know what I mean? Like something that comes from the inside that helps to create, you know.
Definitely.
And I mean, I like where I live. Like, it's cool, it's quiet. But literally, I'll be like, what am I doing? I got time. I'm gonna go walk around Carytown by myself, headphones on. I just walk, go to this store. Am I hungry? I think I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat here. All right, cool. I'm just gonna walk, and I just go. And I feel like you just have to live and experience life and change your scenery, because if not, as creatives, it gets stale, and it gets stale quick, and you don't realize why, but you have no inspiration.
Thank you. Yeah. And then I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. I don't want to blame everything on, media, like the Matrix. Matter of fact, I made a TikTok video about this. Because we have so much stuff and distractions, and then when we have disposable income, I also think we create this, I don't want to call it a fantasy world, but a safer environment. And then it becomes an illusion, and then I can surround myself with my safe friends. And because now everything's safe, I created this little world I live in. I'm also shutting out inspiration because I want to be safe and comfortable.
Yeah.
And because I don't want anything to disturb my comfort, I don't let nothing in. And then we end up with, writer's block, boredom, medicating with food, because you want to be safe now. Because we have, disposable income, extra time. Because I know for a fact in the suburbs, I didn't even like going downtown for real.
Yeah.
I didn't want to deal with the people.
Yeah.
Because
it's a lot if you don't really like it. Like,
yeah, but the real me loved the energy. But I wasn't just thinking about myself. I had my 3 kids. I had a mortgage. I don't want to go downtown. Something might happen.
That's true.
Because of all the fears they give you.
Yeah.
Even though God said live and live with no fear and go out. Like, I know for a fact those times God would tell me to move, and I'm like, why? Got my food, got my house, my picket fence, I'm safe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, I don't want to get dirty. I don't want to get cussed out. Because once upon a time, I was a zealot. I was passing out Bibles. I was preaching to everything and everybody. I was getting cussed out. Then I got comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you living downtown, you get the inspiration, you're moving, the adventure of it all. And then if you're doing it in Jesus' name, you're not going to lose anyway.
Yeah.
But man, when we get comfortable, I think we put up these little shelters. And now you can't even move when God tell you to move.
Yeah, the whirlwind. The whirlwind. It's like the day-to-day. Wake up, eat breakfast, or not if you don't. Go to work, go to the gym, come home, watch TV, sit on your phone for an hour, go to sleep, and do it the same thing. and you live for like Saturdays
Yep.
or Friday nights.
Yep.
And you wear yourself out so much that it takes you like till Tuesday or Wednesday to recover, and then you're back at it.
And you wake up one day and you, the illest part is you wake up one day and you hate your safe life now because you know there's more. Some people call it the midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis.
Then, I mean, we won't have to go into that subject, but then people start cheating on their spouses and
Or just wilding.
experimenting and
They just want a change so bad.
yeah, because you created this safe thing.
Man, I don't think that just happens in your mid 50s, late 40s. I feel like that can happen too in your 20s.
You create this safe space.
Yeah. Like if you're frustrated with like certain things, you know, I feel like once you get to that mid 20s to 30s and you start to like look at your life and you go like, okay, have I been doing the things that I wanted to? What about all the stuff that I said I was going to do and I didn't do, or like school or family or lack thereof? You know what I mean? And you start getting kind of desperate, but like in a bad way. So then you get people that's just like, I went to school to be this, and I've been doing this for 8 years, and I make the income I've always wanted, and I'm happy, but I'm not happy because I'm not fully fulfilled. I'm going to quit that and go drive school buses, you know, like, because it lets me travel, and I don't have to sit behind a desk all day. And it's like, no, you just want to change.
You just want to change.
Like, you're unsatisfied. You don't want to quit that. Like, you were desperate to get done with school so you can go be a auto mechanic, you know, and make the money that you always wanted to make and live that comfortable life.
Yeah.
And you're just mad. So you just threw it all away.
Yeah,
I think that happens in the 30s a lot.
It's
like an identity crisis.
And and it's like I said, my theory is we create the safety thing, but also think you just mentioned that you don't have to give up your corporate job. But what if you just went and volunteered at a local school or coached a youth sport if you like kids?
And here's the thing.
Because you can do both.
You can do both, you know, and I could have been like, you know what? I ain't working nothing. I ain't doing the church thing. Like, you know, I'm going to still go to church. But I'm not leading worship no more. I'm going to only focus on my music.
Yeah.
I could. I probably shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like not right now where it's just that. There's multiple things that I do. It feels like my life is in like thirds. You know, I have the 9 to 5, and then I've also got the church, you know, ministry stuff and the music there, and then I've got my own music stuff. And it's trying, you know, and I could just be like deuces to one of those things and go, okay. But then there's other areas of my life that would struggle a little bit more because I'm no longer having that thing.
True.
Whether it's financially or whether it's fulfillment, you know. So you're spot on. Like, don't quit the funding for your life to just chase the dream unless you have somewhat of a plan. Now, sometimes, hey, roll the dice.
Some people.
But if you don't get a 6.
Might get a 7.
Might get a 7.
I remember in Atlanta what a lot of brothers did. And when I met a lot of rappers and singers, and even some of the women would do it, but they'll get an apartment and it'll be 4 or 5 of them in one apartment.
That's smart, though.
So then you don't have to work 80 hours a week to pay your rent and make your music. So if it's 4 of us in this apartment, if we all put up $200-$300 on the rent, share the food bill.
We're good.
Now we have more time to explore. But if you live all by yourself and you want to be a creative, you don't even have time to create.
But the thing though is that's a plan. Like you have a plan.
There's 4 of us.
And a lot of people don't have a plan.
True.
Like it's just like I'm betting on myself. Okay, well what's the plan?
Yeah.
Bet on yourself. Well, what's the plan? Like what are you trying to do? What do you want by this, that, and whatever? You know, and I've had to revamp, not in a bad way, but in a good way, like what's my plan? You know, like what, not that I would ever stop music, I won't, but I have to have some form of structure or I'm just doing stuff. I'm just doing a recording when I feel like I should do a recording. I'll just release a song when I feel like I should. And sure, some people can do that, but then you can't be frustrated that the outcome, the growth is not consistent because there's no plan. Yeah. You're just doing things.
Well, let me ask you this, and you speak for yourself, but we talked about this a little bit the first time you came, but what is your music motivation? Is it, because I know that's a wide general question.
Yeah.
But is it, fame, money, to make God happy, to make yourself happy? When you're doing your music, what is it for? Because when I'm gonna tell you what happened to me when I was rapping. I wasn't saved either, but I was rapping because I always felt like I had a message to get out. I knew God called me to ministry. I just didn't want to listen, but I knew I wanted to get a message out. I wanted to make money, and I wanted to put my friends on, because a lot of my friends were way better rappers than me. So my plan was to do what the Wu-Tang did in New York.
Right.
I was going to get this record deal, take my $100,000, build a studio, and put my friends on in Virginia. So I wasn't even doing it for myself.
Yeah.
So when you doing your music thing, what's your motivation?
So the different avenues have different purposes. And like some of them have like multiple purposes. The main thing, honestly, is just, yes, there's the spiritual aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I've loved music since I was maybe 12, 13, 14, where I just connected with it. And at that time, it was just like the emotional outlet. You know what I mean? Before it was like this is worship, like this is ministry. Just being real. Music was just the emotional outlet and connection. I wasn't the best with words and talking about my inner deep feelings.
Yeah.
So music was the avenue of which I would explore those things. So that's the main, like the foundation of where it comes from, is it's me expressing how I feel, what's going on, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's why like my stickler is like, if you don't mean what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like don't say whatever. But my thing is, you could say whatever as long as you mean it. I get that, and like, especially in the rap lane, some of it's just artistic expression.
Yeah.
But in like the gospel, contemporary Christian, whatever, it's supposed to come from within. It's not, I love pop music. I love catchy phrases. I love simple ideas and structures. But what you're saying should be how you feel. And if it's real and it's how you feel, then yeah, the music might not be the best, but it's good because it's how you feel. That's where it comes from. It's really just me getting my feelings out.
Being yourself.
Being myself.
You know who's a good example of that?
Who's that?
The first thought that came to my mind was MC Hammer. Because as much fun, as exciting, as electric as he was, you could always tell there was a little bit of spirituality behind it, and that was his real personality.
Yeah, that's who he was.
I loved to dance and have fun.
Yeah.
Like when he tried the gangster thing, we knew that was fake. And it didn't last long.
Yeah. Yeah.
But his original stuff, Can't Touch This, and the song when he was talking about his mom and all that, he was being himself.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
you got to mean it.
And I'll say this with rap specifically, since you brought up MC Hammer. Rap or hip hop, whatever, is heavily dependent on the persona. If I don't believe you,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Not gonna sell.
It's like, yeah, even the guys that are faking it still try to sell it. You know what I'm saying? Like the guys that are rapping about drugs and being high and whatever, they try to sell it, even if they don't do it in their personal life. The persona is important in Christian music too, but it's easy. I think it's easy to hide. I think people hide with worship music because they hide. Yeah. And not everybody. I love worship music. We sing it every Sunday. But I think sometimes people write things that they don't feel. They write things that work. And if that's what you're into, cool. Worship music is the pop music of the church. Because you sing it every Sunday, it's the most profitable. You can go on tour with it. You can make albums with it. And no one knows how you're doing. It's just here. And that's good. Like, it's good to write songs about him, like to him, for him. But there's also Proverbs in the Bible. There's Lamentations in the Bible. There's Songs of Solomon. I'm not saying you should write love songs. That ain't my cup of tea. I like love songs. I'm not going to release them. But I'm just saying, like, there's more than just worship in the Bible.
Yeah.
David would write a lot about what he was dealing with, what he felt.
He wrote about the wars.
He wasn't always happy, and he was a warrior, and he wrote about wars.
He said, God, you let me lose this fight? Are you mad at me, God?
You know what I'm saying?
Because life is up and down. Yeah.
Right. So it's like
Yeah.
all of that stuff. But I really do think that some people hide and they don't want to talk about themselves. And
You about to make me cry.
it's the truth.
Like, I went through that even with my salvation journey. I hid so much stuff because I thought that was the concept of a man. Like, that's what I wrote about in my newest book. So we can talk about that later. But I hid a lot of stuff when I got saved.
Yeah.
Because part of it was fear.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't know that, though.
Yeah.
But a part of it was fear, a little bit of shame, because I ain't ashamed of a lot, but a little bit of shame. Then at the same time, when they talking about being born again and put those things behind you, I was literally putting it behind me. I didn't know God wanted to, because God doesn't recycle stuff, but he'll take the lesson from it, and you can build a brand new foundation, but if you don't deal with it, it's still there.
Yeah.
I can't remember which preacher said this, but he said, you sweep the trash up in the kitchen, it's in a pile, then you throw the carpet over it. But you didn't take the trash out.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, it's still underneath the carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lump in the
You
carpet.
can't see it. You know it's there if you step on it.
Yeah. And everybody in the house could see the lump under the carpet but you, because ice swept the floor.
Yeah.
I can't remember which preacher said that, but I was living like that for a minute. Because I kept thinking, my strength is overcoming this thing, but God wanted to get rid of it. But we have to confess it, heal it, and deal with it. Because if you don't, it's just going to come back, because there's always a scar in your soul.
Yeah.
God wants to fix all that stuff. So when you talk about hiding stuff in music and being on stage performing, I understand that whole thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had to heal the stuff. I just thought you just keep going, like my scars.
Yeah. It's a big thing, you know. And I've tried to be intentional too, to not glorify my problems.
That's another one.
Like, I can talk about them but not glorify them. But like,
That's another one.
you know, the funniest thing is, like, the most popular song that I have right now is Choices, and it's kind of like got a country feel to it. But obviously, I don't sing country music, so that's like finding new ways and new sounds and stuff like that. But like, the first line is like acknowledging that I'm made in the image of God.
And I got a pickup truck.
Right. Nah. I do want one. But I ain't paying for that gas, man. That's crazy, man. Trucks are nice, man. It's growing on me.
Now in the country, they just use corn oil.
Oh, no, that's crazy. So look, this is the first line is,
Yeah.
you know, literally this is the first line.
Yeah.
And I was made in God's design, but maybe I'm a little too kind, but I guess that's just the way you made me to be. And the truth is he didn't make me to be too kind. You know, it's my parents' circumstances, this, that, and the third, life experiences that formed my personality. But I started the song with, I was made in God's design. I'm made in his image.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he formed all things. He's the master creator. You know what I mean? Like, all things come from him.
Amen.
So I'm acknowledging that God is the source. You know what I mean? Like, he's my creator. But I'm a little too kind. And that came from therapy. I was going to therapy. And yeah, I haven't talked about this a whole lot, but exclusive on your podcast. But I was going to therapy. Yeah. And I was doing Christian counseling and like therapy with yeah, man. I was, because I still wanted to make. We'll go into, look, you know,
you good.
You know, man, we just staring up. But I was going to therapy, you know, like my pastor knew about it. He knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Also doing Christian counseling at the same time with the minister, you know what I mean, like at the church and stuff. And he was involved with the other things, so he knew what was going on. But the therapy was just like, yo, let's look at your personality. Let's figure out who Chris is. Like, yeah, we're still going to pray about everything. We're still going to be biblical. And like, you know, we believe the Holy Ghost can empower us. But let's understand ourselves. And one of the things was like...
Now, you heard me just say I hid stuff.
Yeah. But like one of the things was...
Yes, sir.
I was a really big people pleaser. And like underlining... But if you would have thought, you would have been like, Chris is not a people pleaser. He's just really nice. But I was. And I saw how like having hard conversations, being confrontational about certain things, like followed me all the years, you know what I mean? Like that I've been living and seeing patterns in certain things and stuff. Now, that's no excuse for bad behavior. But I did notice that, oh, that's a thing. And we would talk about it. Let's do exercises. Let's just, okay, look at that. Let's try and identify it throughout the week and stuff. Mm-hmm. So this song, you know what I mean? Like making hard choices. The whole song is a thing I've learned about myself from therapy. And it's one of the most popular songs I have. And like, I got so many people that was just like, man, I felt that. And I'm not talking about like some of my friends that's out there. I'm talking about people that are like saved, sanctified, in church people, like living for God, trying to live right, good people, good character people, but struggling with emotional weights and baggage because we're human beings. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we have personalities, we have all these things that God gave us, and we're imperfect people. And because of the consequences of other things in our family and generational curses, you might want to call it, or things that you saw your father do, or that he saw his father do, or his father wasn't there. Yep. But you saw him try to figure it out, but you didn't know he was just figuring it out, or watching your mom, and this, that, and the third, and knowing that she was doing the best she could, but maybe she had her own hangups, but we didn't understand that as kids. Yeah. So then we're adults doing some of the same things, but don't realize where it's coming from. And that's where some of my most popular songs was that one. Like if I scaled it to see, like the one that streamed the most is Endless Capacity, which is a great song. It's cool, Yeah. But scaling it, Choice is doing way, people listen to that way more. It's half the time. And it's just I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Like
that draws people. Like what you said a minute ago, not be yourself. Would you say mean it?
Yeah, mean it.
Mean it.
Yeah.
People can feel it when you mean it.
They can feel it when you mean it.
Yeah.
And like,
you remember that?
Oh, go ahead.
You remember that Helen Baylor song? I got a praying grandmama.
Oh yeah, that long song. It's good though.
Got a praying grandmama. That's her. You just said it. That's her most famous song, her most streamed, played song, tape CDs. Mm-hmm. And that was her real testimony because she had a praying grandmama. Yeah. And I want to say it's an 8-minute song.
It is. And they play the whole doggone thing on the radio.
Yeah. And I had a chance to meet her in person. She came to Richmond.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. She used to, she's real good friends with Pastor Victor Torres.
Oh, got you. New Life, yeah.
Yeah. And once a year, she would come to different events cool. They're real good friends.
Oh, I got you.
And once a year, because I used to be a member at New Life, and once a year she would come to the church and do a concert. Yeah. And I worked on the audiovisual team, so I was, behind stage, all that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And she shared her testimony often, but she meant it because that was a real testimony. Yeah. I got a praying grandmama. Yeah. So, we could talk about that forever because we hide stuff, and when you kept saying people pleasing, it reminded me of defense mechanisms we put up. Mm. And I remember when I was the soft little scary Christian boy, because I was trying to be a Christian in school, but it didn't work. Because I'm like, wait a minute, I can't be scared and be a man and be cool. I don't want to say I like violence, but I like the challenge. Yeah. Because that was just my regular nature. Yeah. Dealing with things. The violence is just like the last resort. But being the scary kid, because of my religion, always was a conflict with my manhood and my nature. And I ain't a thug either, but I'm not afraid of confrontation because I'm built to deal with stuff. Yeah. That's why I've always been a teacher.
You know what? You said that, and that's like one of the things too is like, I think it was hard for me to see it because I was raised in a masculine sense, in a sense of like you said, if someone ran up on me, you're not about to just push me on the floor and I'm gonna be like, oh, it's all right, brother. Like, no, that's not me. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not my family. None of that. Like my cousins would get in fights. But so it was the emotional side. It wasn't the physical side, because if you want to. You know what I mean? Like
I used to cry when I won a fight. Because I would get home and just the adrenaline rush, and I don't know if it was the Holy Spirit or what, but even if I won the fight, when the fight was over,
it's just that.
Yeah, it's like.
But the emotions, like you can, yeah, that we can do that, but then to sit down and be like, okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, because a lot of people I fought became friends later. Because it's like I was literally remember this one dude. I'm sorry, Lord. I won the fight. But I went to his house a couple of days later. Like, what's up, man? Let's go to the store.
Most people don't hate. Yeah, most people don't like hate the person they're fighting. They just want to hit somebody, or they're upset at the thing.
Yeah, and then in the '90s, everything was, I won't say everything was hardcore, but you had to be tough. Onyx was out, Wu-Tang was out, everything was tough. Mm-hmm. You had to be a man, and you had to fight. Then the drug era. You had masculine. You had to be tough.
Yeah.
The girls didn't like you if you were scared. And I didn't like myself when I was scared.
Yeah. So
a lot of times I was fighting out of fear because I had to conquer my own fear. I didn't even want to beat you up. I just had to hit you to conquer my own fear. I can say it now. I'm 45. I'm grown. I'm delivered. But I can say it now. I had so many fights where I just had to hit you one time to beat my own fear. Then I would just ball up and let the other guy have his fun. Because I didn't even care anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to win. I had to beat my own fear.
It was about stepping into that area.
Yep.
Where it's like, I might be afraid to do this, but I'm just gonna step into it.
Because the fear hurt more than losing the fight. And I had a few of those where I just hit the dude, wham! I'm celebrating on the inside because I beat my own fear.
Yeah.
Dude, wore me out. But I didn't even care.
I got jumped by my cousin one time. Yeah. That makes you feel any better. I'm serious. It was middle school. They used to like, yeah, man. It was just a weird thing. They would like.
Oh, cousin's bully.
Dude. Well, I found out he was my cousin like right after that.
Okay.
Like, you knew that, didn't you?
I thought you knew. Okay. Yeah.
So I was going to the trailer, man. I looked up and all I saw was like 3 bodies run at me. And I had this, oh my God, I don't know why I did. Instead of putting my stuff in the locker, I used to put everything in my backpack.
Yeah. Oh, you was at school when it happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to put everything in my backpack. So I've got like a 40, 50-pound backpack on my back. And I'm just like this. And I look up and I see him coming. Because my problem, I had a mouth on me. I didn't start fights. But if you pick with me, I'm up.
You got something?
I'm gonna say something back.
Yeah.
You're not gonna just get that off. Like, I don't care. I don't care if like we cracking on each other.
Yeah.
You get me good and I bomb and I just suck all the air out the room. I said something.
Are you the roast champ at church?
I had mean cousins growing up, man. I was a younger cousin too. There was like 2 of us that was the youngest.
Yeah. And they jumped you.
We used to catch verbal fades. Like,
what happened when they jumped you though?
Oh, it caught me off guard. But like my book bag, my backpack, book bag, whatever you call it, went to the side. So I was just like, oh. And then by that, he was on me. And by the time I could get up, they was gone. I know who it was too. I ain't gonna say his name.
Yeah, you can say it on TV.
Evan and Lamar. I forgive them though. But no, you're right. We was all cool like later.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But you ever had that moment? It don't have to be, violence, but you ever had a fear you had to conquer?
Yeah. Most of mine are emotional though.
Yeah, name one of those moments. It don't have to be a fight, but when did you have a tormenting fear that you had to conquer, but you didn't really care about the result? Because I lost a lot of them fights, but that first punch just made me feel so good.
Man, like I said, I think the biggest things for me is just having even like in ministry, just having hard conversations.
Okay.
And being like, that wasn't good. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Or being like, that wasn't good enough. Like to tell someone that that's not good enough and not try and find the silver lining. I naturally can find that silver lining. But then to have a hard conversation, be like, look, love you to death, but like where we're at, this isn't really working and we just can't do that. As simple as that. That for me was like tough. Oh,
so you mean like if you're in the studio and the piano player ain't good enough, you have to fire him?
I would be like, instead of firing it, be like, bro, thank you so much for that.
Instead of telling him to do better.
And then just go get, which can like waste a whole day. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten a lot better at it over the past year. Actually, year and a half.
Okay.
I've gotten a lot better at it. But yeah, like that, I would rather let that joint just, and they'd be like, that's fine. We can fix it later. You know, but having to go like stop, or when we're in practice and someone's off, to just be like, that's all. Brian was good at it. Brian will be like,
Brian Pound.
say you were singing, we all right here,
Yeah.
and you be off. And it's not like you had to know him. Like, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't malice.
Yeah.
But he was very like right there and that. But again, that's my weakness. That wasn't his weakness. You know, he had his other things. You know, none of us are perfect.
Yeah, we all missing something.
So what I'm saying is, for me, that was like a big thing. But people didn't know that. They just thought I'm really nice. It's like, I just want to say it.
Yo,
I'm serious. It was
shout
bad.
out Brian Pound. I love you, man. Good people.
Out in Texas.
Yeah, he was one of the first friends I had when I joined the church. But we could talk about that people pleasing forever. But so you'd rather let a song fail instead of firing somebody?
I wouldn't let it fail. I just fix it later. I used to.
But that,
Or like, I wouldn't want to hurt the person's feelings. So I feel like, or you know what? I wouldn't let it fail. I would let it hold things up. Things would get held up to where the progress could move forward in a, you know, whatever way. So there's another song, like Choices. Let's go back to Choices. We talked about Choices again. There's an earlier rendition of that song.
Yeah, you just gave me a thought, but go ahead.
So I played the guitar, and if you listen to the guitar on it, like, that guitar is amazing. That's Regan Cruz that played the guitar on that song.
Yeah.
Dude out of Nashville.
Yeah.
And I played it. I sent it to a friend of mine, Jesse Knopf, you the homie. And he sent me a rendition of it. Well, it wasn't necessarily there yet. So I said, you know what? At first I was just like, no, I gotta just use Jesse's version. Like, I don't want to have asked him to send me in some stems and it's not there yet. So for like a month, I just kind of sat on it, kind of like trying to figure it out. You know, I let Jacob hear it, and he was like, it's good. Okay. It's good. And then I finally reached out to Regan, and I said, hey, bro, you know, I got this. Can you help me bring it together? Like, maybe just tell me what you think, what you might do. Mm-hmm. He texted me back, like, in 2 hours. He was like, what about slowing it down 5 BPMs? And he put a dobro on it and the acoustic guitar.
Wow.
And it, like, I got that back and I played it for Jacob. Jacob was like, that's it.
Okay.
But here's the thing, though. Like, that song would have never came out if I didn't. Well, I was honest, for one. I had to go, yo, Jesse, you know, appreciate that joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he wasn't mean at all. But I would have been blinded by the, like, well, I don't want to make him upset, to go to another person to help take. The demo, though, was what Jesse sent me. It wasn't my original demo. Mm-hmm. So technically, Jesse still helped with production, and I gave him writer's credit on the song, because he helped get the feel to a certain place to then get it to Regan. Because if I had sent what I had, it might have been a whole nother thing that Regan had made. Yeah. But like, me even just going like, yo, Jesse, you know, like, I think this is what I'm going to do. And I kind of still was like, I think this is what I'm going to do. How you feel? And he was super cool. He was like, yeah, let's do it, bro. Do it. Like, yeah, send it off. Let's see, you know, Super cool about it. Wasn't offended at all. Yeah. And like I said, I still gave him like publishing on the song. Yeah. You know, I didn't just act like what he didn't do, because he was a part of it. Okay. He was a part of the production process, the writing process. So old me would have just been like, nah, maybe that just ain't it. But it would have held me up. Okay. In that thing.
So this the thought I had, because this is a lesson I learned to deal with too. This is take that scenario right there. What was more important, your image, your relationship with the person not good enough, or the song? Because
It was the possibility that he would be like, not mad or upset.
Okay. So his feelings mean more to you than the song? Or excuse me, or your relationship with him?
I think
was
it was
that
the
more important than the
relationship.
song?
I think it was the relationship. I think that's what it was. I think it was like, yo, that's my boy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want him to feel slighted. Like, but then I think I might have talked to someone else too. And the truth is those things happen.
Yeah.
You know, there's a very popular, famous artist who I won't say, but he's like known. One of the producers he works with, they say it's drum week, and they'll go in and do his record, and he said, we'll do 20 different takes on drums. He said, nah, don't like that. Do another one. Do another. He said for 7 days. He said they'll work, barely sleep at all, and that's all they're doing. And there's versions of songs that will come out, or he would preview, but then when the song comes out, that vocal's not on it. This is on it. That's on it. This, that. So I kind of had to have that moment where I was just like, this happens. This is a part of what happens on songs. Especially like studio type stuff that's not live. If it's live, I have to use as much as I can from what's live.
Okay.
That's my take on it. That's not what a lot of other people do. They just redo everything, which I get it. They want it to be clean.
Yeah.
It's a product they want to make.
Yeah.
But when it's studio, it's like there's tons of songs that come out and that wasn't the feature. It was another feature, or it was supposed to be that person, or this, that. Things get switched out. So it's a learning experience. But his relationship and not making hip upset was
More important than the music.
But that was a maturing moment for me, and it was a lesson of like, this happens.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because I asked that because people pleasing and the new term everybody's overusing now, the narcissism. Narcissism is a double-edged sword
Yeah.
because I could dominate you and get your affection because you need my validation, or I could self-sabotage, which makes you give me more compassion and empathy.
Yeah.
Either way, I got all your attention. So even when we're the victim or the people pleaser,
Right.
it's still narcissism because I need you to like me.
You know, I asked because I had a moment, especially like in therapy too. I was like, what is narcissism? And I asked her, and I was just like, give me a definition of it.
Do you know how it started?
I don't know how it started, but this is what she told me. She
Yeah.
said, clinically, a
Yeah.
narcissist is a person who they cannot be the problem. Now, like, there's a top side to it, obviously, like the stuff we were just talking about.
Yeah.
But if the underlining thing is they themselves cannot look at themselves and go, I brought this to the situation, I was wrong, like apologize and go, I was a part of the problem. They said a narcissist, from what she was saying, she was like, a real, like, technical, clinical narcissist needs like years of therapy to undo things. And even still, they have to want to do it.
Yeah.
But if you can't see that you're the problem, ever, like they're never they literally are never the problem. Like it's just, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Like it wasn't me. It wasn't me. So I was like, whoo, boy.
I'm not a narcissist.
I'm like, oh, Lord, thank God.
Yeah, because
God.
And that's why narcissists can't repent and they don't like
You're
Jesus.
not the problem. You can't be the problem. Everything else is external sources.
Because when you come to Jesus, the first thing he says is,
Yeah.
you know you were wrong, right?
And you have to look at yourself and be like, I'm sorry.
And then he fixes everything. That's why they can never come to Jesus.
Yeah.
But the original, we ain't got to talk about it tonight, but the original narcissist thing, back in ancient Greece, there was a pool.
Okay.
And the people, of course, this is all Greek myth.
Yeah.
But it was this large pool with water in it, right? And there was a reflection in the water. So people would stand there at the pool looking at their reflection and just loving their own image. And they couldn't move because they didn't want to distort the image. And they didn't want anybody to disturb the water because it would distort their image. So everything had to be perfect and comfortable. And they would just stand there until they died. Because I love my reflection in the pool and I don't want anything to disturb my image. That's where the legend of the narcissist came from. Don't disturb my image. So I don't want remember I was telling you earlier about creating this comfort world, living in the suburbs.
Yeah.
You know, the people, there's nothing wrong with the man cave, but, you know, the perfect house, the perfect image. I don't want anything to disturb this look. That's why I have to cut my grass every 3 days. Because I have this perfect image in my tiny little world. But you have no impact in the real world because now you have to be uncomfortable. So a narcissist doesn't want to be uncomfortable because I'm staring at this perfect image of myself in the water.
Or can you even make them uncomfortable?
And while you're standing, but guess what? While you're standing there looking at, you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
You just love your image. So now you think you're more important than you really are because you're just stuck doing nothing. Because a real narcissist doesn't accomplish anything.
Yeah.
They're just manipulating people to keep their image perfect. Like,
That don't last for so long.
like music producers who don't make their own music. They pay somebody else to do it, but this is my brand.
Yeah.
You have to manipulate everything in the back. The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example.
Man, behind the curtain.
But then when they finally saw him, you ain't got no power.
Yeah.
You just manipulating everything.
It was all a scam.
The Wizard of Oz had no power.
Yeah.
They can just play with your fear. But going back to, you know, the new narcissist, which is pride and selfishness for real. I need you to like me. So if I have to play down to get your sympathy and empathy, I'll play down. Because I'm the victim. Please come pray for me every Sunday. For the same thing I keep doing, but I need you to keep praying for me because I need your attention. Or I'll dominate you, and now you need my validation. So the current narcissist can play either one. Because all I need is your attention, and I will play any role I need to play to get your attention. So a narcissist can be a people pleaser and act nice.
But really it's
Manipulation.
Yeah.
Because I need you to like me so I can get what I want from you.
Yeah.
Like you're a musician.
Yeah.
I need to be your friend because I need your music. But I really don't like you. I just need you to sing.
People do it.
All the time.
People do it.
Yeah, and then let's say, let me think of somebody famous. What's the brother from Maverick City? Not Dante Bowe, the other one with the glasses. Chandler Moore.
Oh.
Now there's Chandler Moore, and he needs a new artist. So when I brought you on, it's because I can't sing, so I need you to sing for me. But then I meet Chandler Moore, all of a sudden I can sing great because I want to perform with him. So I need to play both of y'all because I need to get on his stage, but I need you on my stage. So to you, I need you because you sing better than me. But when I met Chandler Moore, I didn't put you on. I said, Chandler, I could sing because I want to get on the Maverick City tour.
You know, a lot of the stuff too.
It's all manipulation.
Yeah. A lot of stuff that's weird too is like music business.
That's another 8-hour show.
Yeah. It's actually not that complicated.
No.
But I think because it's so simple, like, I don't want to say people complicate it, but
I would say people cheat to get to their spot.
I think so.
Because I'll give Chandler Moore $50,000 to get on one song with him instead of investing that in my own studio and making my own album. I want to get to the top overnight.
Yeah.
So let me jump, you know what I mean? So, but then you're cheating the process because you didn't go through what you needed to go through to get better.
You're trying to like feature your way to the top.
Instead of working.
And developing like your sound or your craft.
But then when I get on tour, I ain't got nothing to sing because I didn't go through the grind. You went through the grind for what, 20 years?
Or you're just not good.
That's a whole nother. See, now you got to get cussed out. How dare you?
I'm just saying.
You remember American Idol?
Hey, it still takes skill. That's the thing about it. People can say what they want. People can say anything they want. Everybody sounds great in the studio, but when it comes to performing.
We see that in sports. These carefully crafted AAU teams.
Yeah.
Then when he gets to college as a freshman,
he's terrible.
He can't even make the team.
System.
Exactly. So you can't cheat the process.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, because you brought that to my mind earlier. We were talking about the work and juggling life. God's preparing you for that moment. Because if you don't go through the grind, you have nothing to offer when you do get to stage.
Yeah.
So God literally cultivates us. And then when he puts you where you're supposed to be, you can't lose. But if you cheat your way to the top, you're going to fall.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the skills.
Can't sustain it.
Because you didn't get stronger.
Yeah.
Like when I first started lifting weights, I could do maybe 2 push-ups and my elbow wanted to crack. But I just kept going. Now I can do 5 push-ups. Now I can do 10. But I had to start with 1.
Right.
So God does that spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. He's cultivating us. And like my Hebrew teachers used to always say, when God builds a man, he never goes backwards. So he always used to say, when you see people fall, or even yourself, when you cheat the process, sooner or later you're going to fall because you didn't build those roots.
Right.
Because David never lost the throne. Even when he made mistakes, he didn't
Yeah.
lose the throne. But what happened to the king before him? He kept cheating.
Yeah. He was a wild man. He said, I'm finna do what I want to do.
You cheat the process, you don't have character. I mean, like I was, and that's what the narcissist does. They want credit and power they didn't earn or deserve.
Yeah.
And they get it by playing people. I'll come to you and play the victim, then I'll go to Tim and play the victor. Because I need worship from both of you.
I feel like that crashes in after a while,
We will.
you know, because the proof's in the pudding, you know what I'm saying?
You'll know them by their fruit.
Yeah, you know, especially when it comes to like music stuff, and I don't want to necessarily say music business, but like people that are just kind of, you know, doing stuff or whatever, or like you said, cheating the process and trying to just jump ahead in certain things, or even faking it. You know, you got a lot of people that fake it. They look they'll look the part. They'll, you know, you look on media, this, that, and the third, and they're da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But then when it comes down to the things that matter in the sense of like, let's just say I was a business or whatever or something like that. Or if I was like a label, I would look I would look at your following. I would look at like, oh, okay, that's cool. I would look at your Instagram like, wow, he's really great at, you know, his marketing and doing these things. Well, he makes great posts and cool videos and stuff. Well, he releases a lot. But then they're going to look at your analytics. And you can't lie. Analytics can't lie. You know, that shows, are you growing? You know, are you moving the needle? Is your growth real?
Yeah.
Is your growth, you know, where are you? You know, there's nothing wrong with like either having small, medium, large, or crazy following. But when you like move as if it's one thing, but then it's another thing, they can see that, you know.
Definitely.
They can see that. People can see that. Or if you want someone to partner, they can see it. They can be like, oh, well, you told me that, but that's really what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my first experience, I had a couple of them actually. One of my first experiences with that, I grew up in Newport News, and God had to be teaching me stuff, but a lot of the guys I knew were selling drugs in the 90s. I wanted to get on. And a friend of mine was like, yo, I can introduce you to this guy who supplies me. Then he said, Derek, I don't know if he's going to trust you because you have to be willing to use a gun. You have to be treacherous with this thing because he don't like people playing with his money. I was like, nah, I know over here, I can go over here and do this and this. He's like, Derek, you understand this is a game
It's for real.
is real.
Yeah.
And he said,
And he can sniff you out.
and he said, Derek, I don't know if you're the kind of person that's willing to shoot people and do the dirt to get the money. I said, I don't need to. I can sell it here because that was my fantasy.
He was telling you again, no, you're not listening.
You're not ruthless. Yeah, you're not ruthless enough.
And people would see, and he was a good friend for warning you in that moment.
And he was
Obviously,
right.
like, don't sell drugs. But,
And he was right.
and he was right.
Because like you just said, faking it.
He's like,
But-
you going to go out here and someone going to sniff it out. And they going to go, you ain't really.
And I almost said his name. Forgive me, Lord. But he was like, dude gonna want his money, and you got to get his money.
Coming for you.
Yeah. He's like, are you sure you want to go this way with it? Because my man who was doing it, he ain't had no rules. But and I knew these guys. I wanted to be down. Now, and my pride said, yeah, I'll shoot anybody. That's what my pride said. Of course, God knew me better, and God was warning me. And this is a whole nother lesson, ladies and gentlemen. God will let you cross that line if you want to. But once you cross that line, you're on your own. Because I still could have did it.
Right.
I still could have did it. But then I'd be in Augusta serving life. Because I still could have did it.
Yeah.
But once God removed his hand, it's a whole nother Bible lesson. But the warnings, dude was like, yo, like you just said, we could fake it as long as we want to fake it. And I was like, you know what, he might have a point. Let me slow down. So I still hung with him, but I didn't get as deep in the business as he did. I was just hanging around, messing with the girls, whatever.
Yeah.
And this another one of faking it. Because I was around these guys, I met all kinds of women. So now I'm perpetrating in front of the women like I'm Nino Brown and G Money and just smooth. But then when it come time to get the hotel room, I ain't even have $80. You know,
And then they looking at you like you crazy.
like why are you here? I'm gonna go. You know how many times I done sat on the couch with a girl and an hour later she was on the other couch? Because I didn't have it. I was there, but I didn't have the money. I didn't have the car.
And they was all doughboys.
Yeah, they was really doing it.
They had it.
Yeah, so I could talk the talk, but after a while they be like, nah. I mean, well, how much money you got?
Yeah.
They got the guys on the other couch got the money. So I'm in the game, and if I'm gonna play it, I have to go all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I can still hear God. I can still hear my parents praying. And of course, because you're immersed in it, you want to be a part of it. It's the 90s. God, I couldn't cross that line, but I saw it.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
See, I couldn't cross, but I saw it. It was like it was right there.
dude, man, when you surrounded by money and the image of it, it becomes another high.
Yeah.
Almost like I was talking about the suburbs. We create this fantasy game. That's what the illegitimate game is.
Yeah.
We build these lives that God didn't tell you to build.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so ill because it could be the drug game, the rap game, I almost said it again. The preachers we were talking about earlier on TV, the false prophets.
Yeah, but the thing about it too is like even in the stuff that I do, notoriety can be that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with notoriety or like being known. But that can be it, that can 100% be the thing.
Yeah.
So trying to keep that in check, like you said,
Yeah.
that's a big thing.
Yeah.
That notoriety is a big thing. And I'll say this. The funny thing about that when it comes to like some of the music thing, it's not even profitable to most people. Because you want to be popular, but like just because you're popular, you don't know how to monetize popularity.
Yeah.
Like how do you monetize popularity?
Yeah.
You could get 26,000 Instagram followers. And I would like to have 26,000 Instagram followers. Don't get me wrong. But like the average person that gets that doesn't know what to do it other than just being like, new song coming out next week. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But like, I'll just say this. There's a reason that music labels still exist.
Mm-hmm.
That's because they know what they're fully doing. And most independent people don't.
Yeah.
There's a few who figure it out and learn other than how to make hot songs.
Yeah.
But knowing, yeah.
I'm going to tell you one of the illest. You heard of Ryan Leslie? You remember him?
Ryan Leslie?
Yeah.
No.
He made a lot of music in the early 2000s. He wrote for people and produced for people.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a bunch of business theories about music and entrepreneurship. Long story short, he talks about how it's almost better to not be at the top because of the extra work, the extra fame, than sharing the money. The 360 deals where the company owns you. He said it's better to own a little bit and just bank on that. In the long run, you'll have your millions. When you get a chance, matter of fact, I've seen some of his videos.
Yeah.
But there was another guy, I can't remember his name now, but he talked about monetizing, and he just said 26,000 followers. This guy said, Patreon and all that.
Yeah.
He said, you're better off. He said, instead of having 1 million followers and nobody buying your music, he says, you're better off having 10,000 faithful people that you built grassroots, organic, and to get those 10,000 people to spend $5 a month on your Patreon. That's $50,000 a month.
Yeah.
And every time they buy a product, you get the whole check.
Yeah.
So he said you're better off with 10,000 loyal fans than 1 million fickle people.
That's
because
true.
You bought popularity.
You said something about like a 360 deal, and I think people also don't realize that like the consumers are the reason. Like, sorry, I don't want to. I'm not blaming the people, but I'm just saying like The 360 deal came because people weren't buying records anymore.
Yeah. What was that? Because that came out. Did that start right after Napster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Napster. Yeah. Napster was the first one.
Okay.
The downloadable music.
Yeah.
And the streaming stuff like that. But yeah, the 360 came as a way to try to keep the music industry afloat. Because these guys with the bigger buildings, their buildings are bigger than ours, and they have these companies and stuff like that. They're like, oh, wait a second.
We ain't making no money.
We ain't making no money. And artists weren't able to recoup. So recouping, in a sense, is like, I think we talked about that last time. Did we talk about that last time?
They loan you $1 million.
They loan you, they loan you this. You got to pay them back, but you got to pay them out of your percentage of what is made. Yeah. So if I only have 10% and you have 90 of the publishing or whatever, we make it $100. I made $10. Hey, wait, but I owe you $100.
Yeah.
So you got to make 100 times 10 to pay back your. So they saw the album sales are declining, and people were going, "Oh, we want to stream music. Well, we're not buying albums as much."
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Well, now we can recoup, or you can recoup out of your merchandise. So you can pay us back by your merchandise sales. You can pay us back by your touring. You can pay us back by this. How does that sound? Oh, yeah, I can now pay you more from more avenues.
Or, get a piece of everything.
But it only happened because people stopped supporting music. And that's the side that a lot of people don't want to talk about. It's like,
people stop buying albums.
if people was just like, you know what? I'm not streaming nothing on Apple Music. I'm paying that $10.99. Your local artist will put out more than one album every 2 years.
I still believe.
And stop going on tour for 3 years.
Yeah, that's true. Because,
It'd be the opposite.
Yeah, because I can't think of this woman. She was a country artist. But she literally started as a hostess and a bartender at I want to say Colorado. I want to say it was Colorado.
Okay.
But it was this string of bars. Like, we got Shackle Bottom with all the bars and restaurants.
Was she in Nashville?
I want to say it was Colorado. No.
You did just say Colorado.
Oh, wait a minute. Was it Seattle or Portland? Anyway, I'm sorry. I can't remember now. But I loved her story. But she worked at an area, like we got Shackle Bottom.
Yeah.
So she would go to each one working as a hostess, bartender, dishwasher. But she played the guitar and she could sing. So what she started doing was every time one of the clubs would have an open mic or an open stage, she would just get up there on amateur night and just kept performing. Year after year after year. And little by little, she developed a following. And she talked about how each night she would go to a different one and just get on stage for the open mic and play her songs that she used to write at home. She ended up developing a local following. So
Real fans.
Exactly. So the bar owners began to notice wherever she was, hundreds of people would be there and the other ones would be empty. So one of the bars ended up hiring her permanently. Like, look, we will pay you to sing here every night because you're drawing the crowd. She was like, okay. She was just happy to make some money and for people to like her goofy songs. Like, her testimony is awesome. So she started playing at this one particular spot. People just kept coming. And then the owner was like, wait a minute, I could charge these people. He started charging the door fee, giving her some of the money. Well, a record executive heard about the buzz in the town. So he came through and tried to sign her to a record deal. She was like, okay, well, let me talk to my friends and family about this. She's like, wait a minute. Somebody told her don't sign it because they need you don't need them. So she started recording her own music. Then she hired a band because everybody saw the buzz. Started recording her own music and selling that online. And she started making money and realized, I don't even need them. They need me.
Yeah.
So she literally had a grassroots thing. So then the record company, they finally came through and changed the deal where she owned her music. They just licensed it or whatever.
You got to have,
But this was years of grinding.
That was unheard of then.
Yeah, because she was like, because the guy, I don't want to exaggerate the story, but I think they offered her a check, she said, for like $300,000.
That's nothing.
Something like that. Yeah. And she was like, but this is why it was a lot. She was behind on her rent.
Oh yeah.
I think she said her car broke down. She was
So
dead
for her to say no at that time was like,
because she had zero money.
yeah.
Because she was making pennies with the bar owner, and that's why she was working those jobs, because she had nothing going on. And she said it killed her to say no to that money.
There's no substitution. Music's business and the music industry has been what it's been
Yeah,
since, forever.
yeah.
There's no substitution for certain things. There's no substitution for having a following of people that support, that like your music. I mean, yes, the term is fans, but I like to say following because it's, I don't know, it feels weird calling people fans. But there's no substitute for that. There's no substitute for being able to communicate with those people. Mm-hmm. And TikTok might get shut down. So it's about to be a bunch of DJs that's out of a job charging people $5 to get their songs played. So you got to have that.
I'm waiting for the new app to replace TikTok, but go ahead.
Well, the original thing.
Go ahead, finish
yeah,
the
no, but
yeah.
the original thing
Yeah.
that to this day big bands and people still do is email.
Wow, that still works?
It's the number one original thing is having a website. Look at how many independent artists have a website. And then you can do it for gospel music, you can do it for rap, you can do it for anything.
You're right.
Now, then make a list of the exact same number of independent artists that you just really liked.
Yeah.
Now look at artists who are hired, have deals.
Yeah.
Look at how many of them have a website. And look at how many of them, when you go to their website, the first thing that pops up is subscribe.
Good
Or
point.
sign into my email list.
point.
You know why? Because Instagram will die eventually. Facebook is not what it used to be. Mm-hmm. Twitter is not what it used to be. MySpace is not a thing. You know, like all of these things are obsolete. They're not forever.
Right.
They're apps. They're inventions. You know what I mean? They're great marketing things, but they're not forever. That's what I'm saying. Like the reason why I said TikTok might actually for real get banned in the U.S. is a real thing.
It is.
And also, Universal just took all of their music, their entire catalog off of TikTok because they're not paying them enough. So a platform like Universal pulling their music out, they're pretty much going, we think half of your views are happening because of our music and people wanting to put Drake's song on their TikTok thing and do dances to it.
And
So they're like, we're betting on ourselves.
Yep.
And TikTok's going, we don't need you.
And they don't.
Well, we don't know. But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
But a thing like that, those are the big guys. That's the 1%.
Yeah.
But sometimes they do things in the 1% that can affect the 90%. The artists that are just the local Richmond guy. But if your local following or your connection to downtown Richmond is just through TikTok, TikTok could go away. Can you still connect with those people? They're not going to text you. You know what I mean? Can you get their information when they sign up or when they buy a T-shirt? Oh, I got your phone number now. I can put you on. And when you buy it, I go, hey, by buying and filling this information out, would you like to be a part of my text message thing? And I can text you.
Right, though.
You see what I'm saying? That's grass. You know what that is? What I learned? That's what the 1% do. We don't know that. So we just say out now and post about it once.
No, you're right. Because Microsoft and Google send me emails all day about stuff I didn't even ask for.
And guess what? All those emails that you try to unsubscribe from, that you're still subscribed to, you might not click on it. But all the information you need to know about Gap having 50% off is in the title. Or they might catch you with a title. And they do it every day. They have a department that sends it every day.
You're right. And they get in your consciousness, too.
Walmart, Target, Gap, all these people, the people that own that, millionaires and billionaires. Why are they sending emails and I'm going, emails is not good enough with my couple thousand followers on Instagram?
You're right.
Not my millions of followers.
You're right.
If Chase is sending me emails,
You're right.
if Israel's Houghton sending emails when he comes to town and it's automated through bands in town,
Why is it beneath me? You're right, though.
the 1% are
Right.
doing it.
You're right. Because when I was following battle rap, I don't know if you ever heard of Daylight?
No, I think that you told me about. Did you tell me about him on the phone earlier? Or was that different?
Daylight?
No, though we were talking about spoken word.
Yeah, we
Talking
talking
about
propaganda. The Christian rapper. Daylight's not a Christian rapper. He was
Yeah.
a battle rapper. He blew up on Periscope. because he got his fans from doing battle rap locally, whatever. Then he got on Periscope. And you've literally brought it back to my memory just now. He talked about how he never signed a record deal. He sold his music on his own website. And he was like, I sell my album for $10, but I get to keep $8. If I was on a record company, I would get like 99 cents out that $10. So he's selling less, but he's keeping more. So he's still taking care of his family.
And the biggest thing is the foundation, build a following.
Because those people ain't going nowhere. So you're right. You literally brought that back to my memory. Daylight said that years ago.
What if he didn't have a website and Periscope went down like it did?
Yep.
All of that engagement, all of those followers, all of those people who said, we love Daylight.
But he still has his website.
Boom.
You're right, though.
But enticing people to get them to even go to your website, that's a whole nother thing.
Amen.
For next time.
So let's end with this, because you my brother, and we could talk for 88 hours and never...
We didn't talk about anything on our list.
Twice. I know.
Which is fine. So we got a part two.
It's all good.
We got a part two.
It's all good. I got educated tonight. But let's end with this. You got your album coming up and Worship Night coming up. Mm-hmm. Explain that to us. What is Worship Night and what is your new music?
Yeah. So the Worship Night is a collective, collective of a bunch of friends and people that I know. It used to just be in Virginia. Now there are some friends that are like in Florida, friends in Maryland that have like been a part of it. So it's not really a face. It's just a group of friends and we'll make music, you know. And I'm actually finishing that project. We did a like invite only recording at the Beacon Theater in Hopewell in November. Mm-hmm. So finishing that up, I also have my project that I'm working on, that I'm like writing, that I'm like gonna write some more tonight too, and you know, trying to finish it this week. And the plan is to do a show in 3 months here in Richmond, probably downtown, probably like a 75 person room. But that project's going to have, I won't tell nobody, but yeah, I'm going to do a show for that. And then the project will release. And I think I'm going to do the show free.
All right.
I think I'm going to do the show free. I'm just going to, it's just getting people out, getting them together.
At Great Street Theater? Great Street Theater?
Well, it won't be free then if I'm be at Great Street Theater.
Oh. Okay.
No, I got an idea. I got a vision for it, but it's going to be downtown Richmond.
Yeah.
And just the plan, like I said, is for it to be free, get as many people out. We'll hang out. I'll play some songs, and then the album might drop at midnight.
I got my phone. I got my phone. Bring some records, too. Sell some records out the trunk.
I got you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's the and let everybody know where to find your music. You said Choices.
Yeah, so the last thing I came out with actually was an EP called Seasons.
Seasons, okay.
But then the month before that I did Choices. So I was gonna do a song every month, and I was like, I'm gonna die trying to do this. Yeah. And actually the quality not suffering. Okay. But all of that's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, literally everywhere. I mean, even on Instagram.
What's your name online?
Chris Branch.
Chris Branch.
First and last name is my government. That's also my Instagram, Facebook, all that. Just Chris Branch.
Chris Branch on YouTube.
I don't have any cool artist names.
The Mighty Duck.
The Mighty Duck.
All right. God bless you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, man.
I appreciate you.
That's right.
Like, yo. Man, I used to be cool to everybody. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get some swagger from him.
Oh, man, you got it, man. You the OG. And the young boys call me the OG now.
Man, them young boys be bullying me at church, man.
They be you think they bully you? they at least respectful to you. They had no respect for me.
They got no respect. You too nice. You're nice.
Nah, I be letting them have it. I be letting them have it.
Hey, I told you the roast champ at the church.
I don't mess around.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, pray for us. Jesus loves you. Peace.